Hi, my name is Jordan and welcome to Gamers Genie. Today I'm going to be talking about fantasy board games, the top 10 fantasy board games. So yeah, this list was very hard for me to come up with just because there are so many fantasy games out there that I really enjoyed and some that I've played before as well, and I'm like, how am I supposed to narrow this down? Like, when I was coming up with this, I had like maybe 25 fantasy board games, and it was very hard to narrow down to 10. So thankfully I did narrow it down to 10. So yeah, let's count down. So number 10 on the list is Lizard Wizard. Basically in this game it's like Raccoon Tycoon but in a fantasy element to it. You're basically collecting different wizards, buildings, and then spells in that game, and that's why weirdly enough, I really enjoy Lizard Wizard more than Raccoon Tycoon just because I honestly love fantasy for one, and two, I really love the artwork in that one. It makes me want to like see if they have art prints of these, like the artworks coming from this game, and I just really love the artwork of this one. And Kevin just recently taught this game, so I'll link the how to play video in the corner and in the description down below so you guys can check it out. And it's a very fun fantasy game, and it was fun playing it at Gen Con when we played it at Gen Con, and then playing it again at home once Gen Con was over when that came out. So yeah, number 10, Lizard Wizard. Number 9 on the list is the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. All I can describe this game is more of like a choose-your-own-adventure kind of game. It is a board game, but you need a computer to, and it's like an interactive thing. You have the physical board that tells you where you can place the characters, and then you use your computer to choose what you want to do, and then it tells you what you need to do after that. I played this a couple of times, even though Kevin and I have been playing it by chapters, because that's how the game goes. It goes by chapters, and thankfully it saves you where you're at. So like if you just want to do one chapter, then it'll save you, save where you're at, so you would do like the next chapter, which is very fun and interactive. I really like this game. I really highly recommend it for people who love Lord of the Rings. I do recommend that to people who like Lord of the Rings, or anybody who wants to do a choose your own adventure kind of board game and just want to something that's more interactive than other board games. I do recommend that. So yeah, this is my number 9. Coming at number 8 on this list is Elder Sign. So in Elder Sign, you are playing as different characters who has different like specific roles in the game, and you're basically trying to collect Elder Signs before the Ancient Ones wake up, and that's basically the premise of this game. This was one of the very first board games that Kevin has taught me when we were starting dating. Like, he and his dad taught me, and I fell in love with the game after that, because I never played, like, my family played board games, but it was more like the mass market board games, and we barely played any board games, like, for years after that. And thanks to Kevin and I, been getting my family's had gotten back into playing different board games, which is really awesome. And yeah, I still love playing Elder Signs, even with the different expansions that we have. It really makes it more challenging if you want more of a challenge with these expansions, but I still love playing the game overall, and it's one of my favorite board games. I think I mentioned in my top 10 favorite board games list, like my list specifically, so I'm trying to remember on top of my head if I did or not. If not, it is one of my favorite board games. So yeah, I do really love Elder Sign, and I just really can't help but want to play it so often just because it's a lot of fun. Coming on number 7 is Wizards Wanted. So yeah, another wizard game that is on my list, but with this one, you play as different wizards, and you're trying to complete as many like tasks as much as possible. And before I forgot what's the person's this roll is called come out. Like, that's how the game ends usually, but I forgot. I'm pretty sure Kevin will remind me later in this bit, later, but it's really a lot of fun. That's like one of the first board games that I demoed at Gen Con, like at my first Gen Con, and boy, it was a lot of fun. And I still remember, like, in that year of Gen Con, I think it was 2017, and they have the giant version of the game, and I was like, I wanted to play the giant version, but that lost opportunity. So yeah, I definitely still really enjoyed the game, and I know Kevin really enjoyed it too. So yeah, it's one of the board games I actually demoed at Gen Con, which was really cool, and it's another fantasy game that I love, especially like the premise of the game. I just still love playing it to this day. So yeah, that's my number 7. Coming at number 6 is ExLibre. And the basic of this game is you're different librarians trying to collect books, basically. That's the whole premise of this game. I love ExLibre. It's one of my favorite bookish board games since I'm a big bookworm. I just do recommend that to anybody who loves to read or who's a librarian in general to play this game. I just really love this game, and I just really like how like each round is different and you're trying to collect as many books as possible. But but in that game, I do really like how they have different genres that are banned in your library. So that's another cool thing. It's like you're trying to avoid collecting those specific books because that you do lose points for that. And I'm just really love this game, and I still need to play it solo because I told Kevin that I want to play it in solo mode, but I still have it. I'm still trying to figure out when I want to do that. But I still really love this game overall, and it's another favorite fantasy board game of mine. Coming at number 5 is Small World. You're basically in this game. You're basically trying to you have different races, unique races, and then you try to take over territory basically before your opponent does take over the board. I really like this game. This is another few first board games that Kevin and his dad has taught me, and I really enjoy that. And of course, my dad really enjoys this game, even especially when he keeps playing those stupid skeletons. One of the previous times that we played this game, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is up with him and skeletons? So, but yeah, it's a really fun game. My family enjoys it as well since since Kevin and I have taught them that game, and yeah, and there's expansions for that as well. I don't think I play them with the expansions as far as I know, but I'm pretty sure I do want to play them with the expansions. But yeah, another favorite game of mine, and that's why it's my number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Unmatched, and in this one I'm going to talk about Unmatched in general, not just specific like Unmatched games, just because you can mix and match with different characters and all that, and they do have a lot of fantasy characters, which I really like, and you're basically playing each characters from different mythologies, literature, and all that, and you're just fighting against each other basically, and I really love this game, and I know that I just really like some of the characters that I played as. The only fantasy character that I played as was Alice from Alice in Wonderland, but I'm still trying to work on my skill for that, and I do really like playing her. I think she's a very unique character to play as at Unmatched, and yeah, I really like Unmatched. Kevin really likes Unmatched, and I do think people should give it a try if you like people going to head-to-head kind of game, and I do really enjoy that. Kevin and I have played this game head-to-head a couple of times with different characters, and it's really interesting how he played one character and I play a different character. It's really interesting how he played this game, just because of some of the there's so many different characters to play as with this game, and I just really like that. So yeah, I really like the big variety of characters that you can play as with this game. But yeah, this is in my top 5 favorite fantasy board games. Coming at number 3 is The Princess Bride Adventure Book board game. And in this one, you're basically trying to play this story out by chapter, and this is a cooperative game, and you're trying to complete the task that was given for each chapter before you move on to the next chapter, because if you don't, you have to start it all over again. I really love this game. I know Kevin likes this game. There was one time that we almost did go past chapter 1. It was so hard for some reason, and Boy Buttercup just likes us doing chores all the time. So yeah, I do really like the premise of this game. I know they have other adventure book games like The Wizard of Oz. I know I want to play that, and I don't mind playing it solo because I know Kevin doesn't like The Wizard of Oz, but I know I love The Wizard of Oz, so that's why I want to play a solo game of that. And I know they recently announced that there's going to be a Lord of the Rings adventure book game, I think. I'm pretty sure Kevin will correct me on that for Lord of the Rings adventure book game. I think there is one, but yeah, Kevin did confirm that because he found that out like a few months ago that there is going to be a Lord of the Rings adventure book game, which sounds really cool. So yeah, I really love The Princess Bride, and I just love this game, and I just really hope Kevin and I don't have a harder time going past chapter 1 the next time we play it. But yeah, it's still a fun game overall. So yeah, if you love The Princess Bride, I do recommend that game. Coming at number 2 on this list is, no surprise here, Disney Villainous. And in this game, you're basically playing as different Disney villains and trying to complete the tasks before your opponent does. And I just love this game. I play this game almost all the time with Kevin, and we just love playing as different villains. There's a lot of fancy villains from different fantasy Disney movies in that game, and I just love this game so much, and I just love playing it. And they always coming out with new villains out there, and I'm just always excited when they announce what's the next villain in the next expansion. So yeah, I do hope there's another Disney expansion out there, because I know which villains I want to feature in the next expansion, but you'd be surprised. So yeah, I do love this game, and my family love this game too, so like we try to play it as often as possible. So yeah, this is definitely another favorite fantasy board game of mine, and it's my top 5. That I cannot deny, especially a big Disney fan I am. And finally, my number 1 favorite fantasy board game is Neverlands Legacy. Basically, in this game, you're trying to rescue the Lost Boys before Captain Hook's and his crew kills the Lost Boys. And what I love about this game is not only you get to play the heroes, but there is another set of rules for playing as villains, which is really cool, because it's like you're not sticking to one side of the story, but you're also doing another side of the story. That's why I love about this game. I don't remember if Kevin and I have played with the villains or not. I'm pretty sure we have, but I don't remember on top of my head. But yeah, for a big Peter Pan fan, I honestly can't help it but really like this game. I just really love anything that relates to Peter Pan, and I just really love this game, and I still haven't taught my family that, so I definitely really want to teach my family that, especially, yeah, this is a really good board game that if you want to play as the heroes, you can play the heroes, but if you want to play the villains, that's also fine. So yeah, I really love this game, and it's definitely a number 1 favorite fantasy board game of mine. So that's all for my top 10 fantasy board games list. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you'll be notified for videos just like this. And if you want to follow us on social media, all of our links will be in the description down below. And yeah, and be on the lookout for our next top 10s list. But until then, thanks for the views.